Hi guys. So today I was rewatching some What Mia Did Next videos and I watched her reacting to her first video. I'll leave the link in the description because I feel it's a very important video to watch. And as she was speaking, it reminded me of something that treatment taught me. We were just sitting in group. It was cold and boring, and I don't think anyone wanted to be there, but we were, and we were all just listening to the therapists talk about things. And one of them, her name was Lolly. She was like, she was pretty cool. Like, she was very professional, but she also cussed a lot. And she was cool. Too bad she wasn't my therapist. Anyway, I have written down what I was going to talk about so I don't forget. And, yeah, let's just get into it. So, that day in group, I think it was just the eating disorder recovery group, because we had several different groups for several hours a day. But, Lolly was telling us how everyone that was at the treatment center for treatment could be compared to a 3-year-old. And this made me really frustrated even before she explained why. And I was like, I was feeling the anger in my chest. And I think part of that anger was from she's probably right, and I don't want to think that she's right, because that would be kind of an insult to myself. But sometimes you have to look at the insults you give yourself versus the insults other people give you, and figure out which one is better or worse. I don't really know how to say that correctly. But anyway, she continued by saying, toddlers, they want people to know what they're feeling and why they're feeling it without them having to explain why. And that's pretty relatable, actually, because, like, with the eating disorder, I would restrict and I would feel empty inside, so I was wanting to make myself empty to show the world I was feeling empty, and I wanted them to know why, but I didn't want to tell them because I didn't want them to know. And eating disorders are a cry for help, even whenever the person is being very hostile and says they don't want help. Like, I remember whenever I first told the first person, which was my best friend Faith at the time, I told her about the eating disorder because at lunch one day, she wrapped her hand around my wrist, and of course, she's like a 5'10" tall girl, and I'm 5'3" ish at that time. So her hands were quite a bit bigger than mine, but she wrapped her fingers around my forearm and went as high as she could, which was almost up to my elbow. But that's also because she was taller and had bigger hands. But whenever I told her about it, she was like, "Oh, I didn't know. Uh, what do you want me to do?" And I was like, "Well, just don't point it out again, please. And don't tell anyone. And yeah, just I'll figure it out." As time went by, she would ask me in private message how I was doing, and she would try to convince me to eat. And I really didn't like it. And I still stayed friends with her because she knew something that no one else in this world knew. So I was like, I have to keep her close. So maybe she won't tell other people. I know that's a horrible reason to keep a friend, but I mean, I did a lot of horrible things to myself and um kicked others out of my life because I was having such problems with myself. So, yeah, I hope this has made sense. Um, Basically, therapists at the treatment center I was at said that we could be compared to toddlers because we want people to know that we're hurting and we want them to know why, but we don't want to speak about it because we're embarrassed or scared or whatever. Um, yeah. Okay. Bye, guys.